Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is it. Yes, Neo's dead. I don't know about Trinity, but are you kidding me? It's the Matrix. Anybody can come back. No big deal. It's the Matrix. We'll get to that, Dice Tomato. Calm yourself. We'll get to it.
Yeah. Chill, Dice.
We'll get to
Yo,
it.
Dice.
Dice!
Dice Tomato does like to provide the early reviews on things. This will suck.
Yeah,
I hate it already.
This will be terrible. Mark my words. All right. Okay, it's time, and there's no stopping us now. It begins. Oh, wait. Why isn't that showing up on my screen? What did I do? Workspace. Huh.
What did you do?
It appears
Did you break it? What did you do?
my soundboard farted out. There we go.
Oh.
I got it now.
Oh.
Now I got it. I got it now, son.
All right.
All right, here we go. The show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Gambling, booze, and promiscuous androids. Oh well. After 2 centuries of sleep, it's time for some fun.
Never, never, never make a U-turn.
The morning stream. Am I still here? Hello?
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to TMS. It's the morning stream for August 21st, 2019. I'm Scott Johnson. That's Brian Ibbett.
Hi.
Hi. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday to you. Happy middle of the week and the busiest day of my week.
Is it? Wednesdays are bad for you or big for you?
Wednesdays are the busiest days of my week.
So are mine, actually. I have the most stuff show-wise on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
By far. I got this. I got DTNS. I got Core. I have After Core stream. Like, it kind of just goes all day on Wednesdays. We'd like our Wednesdays back, is what Brian and I are saying. Wouldn't that be
right,
nice?
Exactly.
Yeah, that'd be great. Hey, have you tried? Did you see all the freak out on Twitter and the internet and social media regarding the big fight about who makes the best crispy fried chicken sandwich? Oh. Did you see any of that?
No. The only fight I saw on Twitter was whether that's a bird or a bunny.
Oh,
and
okay.
Whether it's wearing a blue dress or a white dress, and it says Yanni or
Yanni.
Green Needle.
Oh, Green Needle, yeah. Wait, was it Green? Yeah, Green Needle. Yeah.
Green Needle and Brainstorm.
Anyway,
yeah, I don't understand how anybody can look at that thing and say, "Oh, of course it's a bunny."
Yeah.
Bunnies don't have sharp, hard, pointy ears that are arranged on their head in a vertical configuration.
Yeah. No, if it's a bunny, it's a terrible bunny. It's a bad
bunny.
Bad bunny. And
bad bunny. Put the bunny back in the box.
Nobody wants a bad bunny
because it's a bird.
Here's the deal, though. Like,
yeah. So tell me about the. Oh, well, okay. I'm sorry. Finish.
All right. What was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say.
You were saying here's the deal, though. But it was about the bunny and bird still, right? Not about the chicken sandwich.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Chicken sandwich. Back to that. All right. So yesterday, and I don't know if it was maybe the day before. I can't remember. But there's this big fight going on because Popeyes released a new crispy, spicy chicken sandwich onto the market. Okay. And everybody went, "Oh my gosh, this is 1,000 times better than the best thing you can get at Chick-fil-A. It's better than the Wendy's chicken sandwich was pretty popular for being good." Like, really, people were like just like slobbering all over themselves. And then other people were coming back going, "No way, my chicken sandwich is the best chicken sandwich." And then like the actual companies got, had a little fun with it and all that. Well, I decided yesterday to find out for myself why it's any good. So I went to Popeyes and I got myself this chicken sandwich that just came out. And it is fan-freaking-tastic. It's so good.
Oh my God, this is funny. So I type in, this is Google, pulling in my Google, typing in the search bar, right?
Yeah.
I type the word Popeye, and the first thing that comes up is a New Yorker article. The Popeye's chicken sandwich is here to save America.
Yep. Yeah. It's a big deal. People are talking about it. I mean, yeah.
I already like. Oh, look at that! That thing does look good. I already like it better because Popeyes likes gay people.
Yeah.
And Chick-fil-A not so much a big fan of the gay people. So already it's a better chicken sandwich.
Send your emails to Brian. Also, if you want to get
I think that's.
If you want to get,
if you disagree, send your. I mean, it's
there
been noted that
there are people. Trust me.
There are people in the Chick-fil-A organization who.
There are people in our audience who will disagree, though. Is what I'm saying. Somebody's gonna.
Really?
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
well,
we've already done this.
I'll point them to articles to like.
We've been down this road before.
Non-fake news articles about members of the Chick-fil-A executive board.
They're loving this right now. They're loving this.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Bring it on. Oh, you remember how I respond to email? Delete. That email's responded to.
Auto archive. Anyway, they got this new chicken sandwich, and it's so good. So good. I loved every bite of that thing, and I feel like getting more of it. That's how much I liked it. So now I know this thing's going to be, buku points on your deal.
Of course. Yeah, anything deep fried is...
yeah.
But if I have it, basically, Fridays are my day to kind of go... Well, a little off the rails. Like I try to be good throughout the week, and then Friday after my weigh-in, I'll have a breakfast that's got a couple eggs and maybe a piece of bacon, maybe a pancake. As long as I'm good the rest of the week and I can recover from that, I just don't do that stuff the night before the weigh-in. So I could totally see having a Popeye's chicken sandwich this weekend.
Try to sneak that in just so you can experience it. Now.
Yeah, I wonder if it's breast meat or dark meat.
I assume it's breast meat, like it's white meat.
I would assume so too, which definitely helps also.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. I don't know if all Popeyes franchises are made alike. I don't know if you go to one and get the same quality or not. So that'll be an interesting factor in all of this. But I will be shocked if you don't come away going, holy crap, that's probably the best chicken sandwich I ever had. It's really
cool. I'm trying to think of the best chicken sandwich I've ever had, and it's like a tie for last place. That said, I don't know if I've had the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, but I'm thinking of like the Wendy's one or the Burger King one. The Burger King one, when I was in high school, used to be the bomb. It was the long French bread kind of chicken sandwich with
more like a hoagie, right? Like a hoagie
kind of
style.
A hoagie. Yeah.
I remember that. That was good.
That was good, but I haven't had one of those. I guess it's been such a long time since I've done a true chicken sandwich.
Well,
so good. This will be a good. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, you gotta. Oh, I just want to talk to people about it. I liked it so much.
Dang it! Oh, now you're making me think. Well, if I ride my bike to the Popeyes, which is
pre-burn those calories.
Well, and I have to ride my bike back from the Popeyes as well.
Right.
So pre and post
burn. I like it.
Pre and post burn.
Yeah, I do that.
I might be able to pull this off, Scott.
All right.
Might be able to pull this off, Scott Johnson.
All right, sneak it in. See what you think. We'll have a review on Monday or whenever after you do it. And
sounds good. Yeah, I'm in.
I was utterly blown away by it. And I'm not. Look, it's fall. Cool. It's still just all kind of different versions of fast food. But whatever's going on at Popeyes, like they've basically eclipsed KFC for me. KFC doesn't exist in my mind now. Like KFC is gross. Right. It's freaking a cesspool of chunks and goop. It's not good. It's bad food.
No, I'm not. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I gave KFC a recent chance.
Yeah.
Tina and I decided, all right, well, there's a KFC here. Let's grab some, take it home. It's as disappointing as it, as it's ever been.
Yeah.
And don't get me started on the grainy mashed potato product.
There's no potato in there at all. Zero.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
No, it's like
it's pretty bad.
It's a glop is what it is. It's glop.
That's right. So, but all their chicken is good. Like everything at Popeyes, somehow it got good. Because in the 80s and the 90s, Popeyes was terrible. Popeyes was not a good choice. It was bad.
And it might have been just because it was so few and far between. It feels like we've got Popeyes, at least out here, sprung up a lot more restaurants, so it was a little bit more, a little bit easier to find a Popeyes than it was 20 years ago.
Oh yeah, it's like there's like 5 within driving distance for me now or something,
Yeah.
which didn't exist then either. You're right. Like the only time I'd ever even had Popeyes.
Scott, everything is within driving distance.
That's
it's
true.
just how committed you are.
That's a really good point. When people say, "Oh, it's within driving distance," that only applies. That would say that's coast to coast. Then that's anywhere in the
further,
lower 48.
if you drive onto a ferry, and the ferry takes you across the ocean, and then you drive off the ferry into Europe or Australia, or you can you can get anywhere in your car if you're determined enough.
That's true.
You're willing to pay.
I mean, even Elon Musk launched one of his Teslas into space. Even space has a car.
Exactly.
We need to do away with that dumb saying. It's a dumb saying. It's all within driving distance. Everything is.
Exactly. Everything's technically within walking distance if you're really determined.
That's true. Makes a good point. But anyway, I would recommend it beyond recommendation. Right. I cannot believe how good that was, and I want more of it. And you know what? I didn't wake up going, "Oh, gut ache! I can't believe I had none of that." I didn't feel gross after or anything. It was so good. Oh my gosh.
Now is the spiciness? Is it flavorful spiciness?
Yes. Not like a. I need someone give me some milk. It's not like that kind of hot. It's like a.
Oh, and well, I wouldn't expect that with a fast food anything. But is it? It's not like a. Yeah, we sprinkled some Tabasco on there, so it's initially hot, and then there's nothing.
Yeah, it's not like that. It's a good flavory thing. There's just the right. And they have this sauce on it that I'm sure is fattening, but really adds to it. There's like a couple of pickles under there. Little like this, not the, what do you call them? Like the little sliced flat long ones, not little round ones, but
not pickle.
What do you call that?
I mean, they're slices, but not rings. They're not rings. What do you call those?
Pickle rings? Is it rings?
No, because there's not a hole in the middle. Not a ring. Pickle discs.
Pickle discs. Pickle pucks. Yeah. I like pickle pucks.
Pickle pucks.
Yeah,
sure.
Pickle pucks.
How many pucks could Peter Piper pick of a pickle puck?
All right, Squishy Twitchy says pickle strips. Probably that's close. That's close.
Probably the way to do it.
Yeah.
Is there a? I'm looking right now. Is there a lunch special?
Oh, I'm getting hungry for this right now.
I know. Why you do this to me, Scott?
I know. Why you do this? Why you do
You're
that?
like the anti-Oprah, right? Oprah's like, support Weight Watchers and eat what you want, but eat responsibly. Scott's like, go get yourself a spicy chicken sandwich, Brian. It's the best thing ever.
Yeah. I mean, for reals, it's really hard for me not to recommend it. Actually, I have a. You know what? I should play that Oprah music when we talk about things like this. Hold on.
We have Oprah music?
Yeah, I have old
the saxophone.
Yeah, the '80s one she had when she was in New York or Chicago or whatever. Let's see. Oprah.
Just getting started, right?
Yeah, I can't find it though. Oprah.
Signature.
Oh, here it is. Whoops, that's quiet. Let's turn that
up. Who is Johnny?
She said.
It really is. It just feels like that's got like DeBarge wrote that. I feel like DeBarge pooped that out. Please tell me it's true.
I do love that. But anyway, all right, you'll have to report back. Let me know how it goes down, literally. So a quick update. Beep, 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 beep. Yesterday we were talking about the math involved with tape. If you go to a mailing place like your post office box place.
Postnet. Yep, exactly.
Yep. And by the way, we had a lot of people that were doing other kinds of math, like how much does tape cost versus how much does it take to put nice comments in your Yelp reviews that will drive people back to your store, which would mean more business. Like, the guy's got it wrong.
That's the thing.
Yeah, he's got it wrong.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, forget for a moment the customer that you've lost because you wouldn't tape their box shut. Think about the customers that will see the Yelp review and say, "Oh, I'll just go down, further a mile down the road. There's a UPS store. I'll just take it there instead."
Yeah, because there's other options there, pal of ours. People can go somewhere else. All right, so here's what Luke Johnson did. He's got the same name as my nephew, but it's not my nephew. It's a different Luke Johnson.
But it's not that Luke Johnson.
No.
This Luke Johnson lives in Boulder, apparently.
He does.
Need to go back up there and do some Lyft driving. Maybe I'll pick up Luke Johnson.
Yeah, pick up your own Luke Johnson. He's the Luke Johnson on Twitter if you have any comments for him. But he put together a spreadsheet, And by the way, if none of this makes sense, it's because you missed yesterday's show. I recommend listening to the top of the show. You'll hear us talk about Brian's experience with his PO box.
It's a callback.
That's right. So here's what he said. Brought to you by the Luke Johnson on Twitter, not Scott's nephew. Sunday, maybe Brian will be my Lyft driver. I recently moved to Boulder. Okay, so he says that in here.
Cool.
All right, so here's the spreadsheet. He did a cost breakdown. If you go to Costco, you can get the Scotch long-lasting moving and storage packaging tape, a 4-count, for $14.99.
Right.
Number of rolls in there are 4. Yards per roll, 54.6 yards. I don't know what that is in meter town. Feet per roll, 163.8 feet per roll. Inches per roll, 1,965, and so on. So total feet, total footage, or total, let's do total inches, because really, when you're at the post office thing, you're dealing in inches. You're not dealing in feet.
You're dealing in inches. Well, I mean, if you think about it, maybe a foot of tape to wrap, to like close the open flaps of a box.
Right. That sounds right. So if you've got 7,862.4 inches of tape, $14.99. So what that costs per foot is less than 2 cents per foot. Cost per inch,
just a little more than 2 cents, 2.3 cents.
2.3 cents, or I didn't mean less than slightly more. You're right. So 0.23 cents, less than 3 cents. Cost per inch, 0.002, not even a full cent.
That's right.
Okay, so
2/10 of a penny.
2/10 of a penny. That's it. That's all. That's all you're paying for there. So, in other words, 2.3 cents cost per foot, cost per inch, 1/5 of 1 cent. Now, this is true of Staples. If you go to Staples, you're going to pay a little bit more. I won't give you all the numbers, but basically, you can only get a roll there, not a bulk set of rolls. 4.8 cents per foot, 2/5 of 1 cent per inch. If you go to Office Depot, a little bit less. This is right in the middle. 2.7 cents. You get a set of 6 is how you buy them there for $26. And that's 1/5 of 1 cent per inch. Now, how all of this translates is it costs you virtually nothing to support tape distribution to your customers that would in turn endear you to them and have them come and give you lots and lots of repeat business. You're talking about less than a penny in some cases, but less than 2 cents a foot. Yes.
What if I have 100 customers who come in and want me to tape their box shut? How much is that going to cost me?
That's going to cost you $2.
Oh my God.
Yeah, $2 that day in goodwill advertising to get them to come back, Brian, for your cool shop that you have.
Right, exactly. Exactly. This is the thing that that you should be aware of. And there's like a it's not the give them the razor for free but sell the blades. There's another economics equivalent about this, about is it loss leader? Maybe it's loss leader.
Loss
where
leader.
You kind of give away the thing that costs you a little bit to retain the customers and bring them back in.
Yep, that sounds right. It's like what they do in consoles. Microsoft or Sony will sell a console at a loss so that they can get a good install base, and then they make it up on the other end with games and games licensing.
Exactly.
We're not even asking him to do that. We're just saying spend 3 cents, buddy. Like 3 cents to make Gladys happy as she was having a rough day and had to come do this thing where she really didn't feel like doing it. Nobody feels like doing it. Nobody wants to go to your dumb store, but they need to.
Right.
So make that stay and that reason to be there. Like my local one, they're so nice. You walk in there and it feels like they're going to throw me a party every time I show up. They're so nice. They're like, oh, it's so good to see you again. We did get 2 boxes. Here they are.
Totally.
Like they never, ever do this whole like, that tape's going to cost you. Like, come on.
Exactly. Oh yeah. See, here we go. TVZ gone. Costco. Their roasted chicken for $5 or $1.50 for a hot dog and drink. That's their loss leader. It gets you in the door, and you're like, oh, I'm near a Costco. I don't even need to use my card to go to the food court part and get a $1.50 hot dog and drink. But while I'm there, I actually could use some a couple boxes of cereal or whatever, frozen chicken breasts or something like that. It's like, oh yeah, I'll pick something up for home while I'm there, and that's totally. Totally what it is.
Yeah, and the lost leadership of that product is actually probably still profiting for them. It's just that they already have the space in the store, and that's being paid for by all of the foot traffic and products they sell. So having this little hot dog and drink place, you would never sustain very long if that was all that your business was, for $1.50 a hot dog and a drink. But because they've already got all of this, they just kind of tack it onto the periphery and say, hey, come get a hot dog for cheap. It's a perfect thing. I'm telling you, that's their tape. Tape is that for the post office.
Tape should be that. Free Rangers says, okay, but if these people aren't paying for anything, just taping their packages and dropping them off, the guy technically isn't getting any paying customers. Technically not from that purchase, but a potential coming back and then spending money later customer is way better than a guaranteed I'm never coming back to the store ever again and I'm leaving a Yelp review that chases other people away customer. I'd much rather have the potential of a future customer from somebody than the guaranteed nope.
Yeah,
they're not coming back.
And the guarantee that they will tell everyone that story. They're all going to tell their friends, don't go to that place. That guy's a psycho. I'm telling you, because you decided not to spend, let's say, the whopping, let's say the guy needed 3.5 feet of tape. Because you decided not to spend 5 cents to make that person happy, you're done. And then that Yelp review compounds it. Oh man, we've got this. We know what's up. This is business 101, everybody.
And if I go to my local, like, actual post office, they've got a little stand that's got it's got all their their branded envelopes that you can use for priority mail, and there's a pen on a chain, and there's like little slips and stuff like that for you to put your address on, and there is a roll of tape that sits on there that people can use to tape their boxes shut.
But
they're, I mean, obviously they're getting the money right away from people who use that tape, take it up to the counter, and then pay to have their stuff shipped. But
Dice Tomato says in the chat, dude, 5 cents plus the cost of employer labor. No. Or employee labor. No, that's not true. You just leave the tape on the desk. You're not doing anything. You just say, I'm out of tape. Can I have some tape? Yep, right there. Here's your tape. That doesn't cost anything for you to do that as an employee. I'm telling you,
put it on a chain. Sidian says that people steal your tape. Put it on a chain. Like you can have one of those little roller things that just has a little chain to the desk, like you've got the pen chain to the desk.
Yeah, no big deal.
I kind of agree. Bainbro by it is like, this tape thing has gotten out of control.
Sure it has, but it's
that's what the Post-it guy is saying. Rainbow Bright.
You've become one of them. Anyway, whatever. Chain your tape, give your tape away, retain your customers.
But bottom line is, I love the fact that the Luke Johnson did the math and figured out how much it costs for a foot of packing tape.
I agree. I'm actually going to keep this spreadsheet handy because I feel like this comes up sometimes. Like, I'll go buy tape for my stuff that I have to ship. I'll go to like Costco, and I'm always irritated that I'm paying $16 for all this tape because I'm like, this probably costs 50 cents. $16. What a ripoff. But at the end of the day, it's not. I'm going to use it forever, and I spend under 3 cents every time I use it. So it's fine.
If I could do it anonymously, it'd be kind of cool to put that spreadsheet and take Luke Johnson's stuff out of there. Put that spreadsheet in a link on the Yelp thing, just as kind of like here you go, just leaving this right here.
Yep.
Here's the math.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is like the rest. How many of you listening like to go to a restaurant where they don't give you free refills on Coke and like soft drink products? That sucks when that happens. That. Yeah. And you got to go up and go, I'd like a refill. Okay, that's $1. F off. That stuff costs them nothing. It is basically like selling water for them. There's nothing to sell. It's just all profit. So the places that don't give you free refills, and I know that may sound like that doesn't happen, but it does, those are like the tape equivalents. And it's usually run by some stodgy dude who's like, no. You pay for a second, you get 1 drink, you pay for 2 drinks. Right?
That's right. Exactly.
All right.
Anyway.
Hey, Ben, I want to give a shout out to Benjamin in the chat. I was just noticing yesterday in the Discord that he was having some like water heater problems. And man, do I have sympathy for people who have those.
Yeah, you do. You went through that last year, and that was
it was bad.
It was a
bad
monster thing.
Yeah, I don't want anyone ever have to deal with that. It costs a ton of money. It means you got to bring experts in. It means you got to like deal with bids. It's stupid expensive. And so I just letting him know. You know, a lot of times we have somebody go, "Oh, my grandma has cancer. Can you make a mention of it?" Or, "Hey, somebody's trying to get a job. Just, let us know you're thinking about them. In this case, major home repair garbage. Benjamin, we're thinking about you there, pal. So, the water's off. He says it feels like a sauna in there. Yeah, see, that's the other thing is a lot of times, I don't know all the details of this stuff, but like if they're shutting your water off while they fix it, you're living like a caveman.
Yeah.
Living like a caveman.
It sucks. Totally sucks. I've got a bucket. We're just going to wash our hands in this bucket.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, yesterday, Scott, had a little bit of extra time, so I hopped back in No Man's Sky. And thanks to some recommendations, there were people saying this on Reddit, I solved my No Man's Sky problem, my glitchy
your No Man's Ski quest bug that you had. You had a quest bug.
Exactly, yes. Yeah. I basically went through a black hole. Just flew into a black hole. So if you're on the other side of the galaxy, you open the quest and it says, completing this quest would be really far away from you. Would you like me to reset it to local planets and stuff? I'm like, yes, please. So hold down the little R3 button. I think that's a center mouse key on the PC version.
Yeah.
Reset it, and I can go into a space station and portal back to my home system, but I might stay here for a while and see what these new planets look like.
Yeah, there's a lot since this update. They re-upped the likelihood that you'll get a lush planet, the lush category.
Yes, right.
So you're getting like some actual grass and like foliage and stuff instead of just like desert planets, which is kind of nice. So yeah,
I just want the ferrite dust.
Hey,
give me the ferrite dust.
You would have loved the planet I was on yesterday. They had nothing. Sorry, on the out in space where you scan it. It said metallic planet. I'm like, what does that even mean?
Ooh.
So
nice.
I got down there and everything's made of metals and ferrite. And
it'd be awesome if it was a Metallica planet.
Oh.
And you just, little robot Lars that walked you around and
Napster bad, they'd say when I was there. But yeah, they had these crazy monolithic like things made out of steel and silver and it was crazy. It was something else, that place.
That's
but
cool.
yeah,
cool.
I'm glad.
I've moved my
Catwoman.
I've moved my 3D or my PSVR over. However, I haven't gotten everything hooked up yet because I forgot that. Oh yeah, you need to hook up the camera too. It's like, jeez.
Oh yeah, right. Because you got to do your VR business. That's right.
Got to do the VR business. There's so much work, Scott.
That's why I like that. That's why I like that. The what do you call it? The Oculus.
Oculus Quest.
Quest.
I know.
No wires.
Yeah, I said I would get one after once my birthday came and went, and I still will. I'm kind of keeping an eye out for. I'm sure there'll be a sale before too long on the $399 Quest, but.
Well, actually, the wires aren't my big problem. It's having to deal with room scale.
Yes.
And this thing does inside-out room scale, whereas the PlayStation, the Vive, the early Oculus, and the current
all does the
even the new hot like best in class freaking Steam Index it's called or Valve Index. Even that still has to have some kind of crazy room scale stuff that's just a pain to set up. I like to be able to walk in and go, I like this space. Bing! Okay, go ahead. That's pretty good.
Right.
Also this.
I've moved Catwoman.
All right.
You found it.
Yeah,
it was well done.
It took me a minute. Well, that's good. And also, when Dunaway gets here, we're going to talk about The Matrix and whether or not it should have a fourth movie because there's some questions about that. So
that's when people apparently stopped talking about the chicken sandwich and the bunny bird. Then they moved on to talking about The Matrix 4.
Yeah, that was a big deal. Of course, this Sony Spider-Man
thing. We're going to talk. Yeah, we're going to talk about that later in the show. That's why I'm wearing. I was wearing a Spider-Man shirt yesterday unintentionally for the whole. When that came around, and I
assume you have a whole. You got like a whole closet of Spider-Man shirts or something.
Really only two. This is the second one. Actually, I take that back. I do have a third one.
Well, there you go. All right, let's get this going and see what comes of it. Hey, look, it's Brian Dunaway joining us. Hi.
Oh, hi, Scott and Brian. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hey, it's good to have you. You're in a good mood. We like having you in a good mood. How's your day?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I like being in a good mood. That other mood, well, that's just for rainy days.
So here's my question
rainy
for
days
you.
And Mondays.
They always get you down?
They do.
Here's the big question for you. If this Matrix thing was a prequel, would they have to call it The Matrix Preloaded?
Oh,
No?
Would they have to?
Yeah.
No. Should they?
Okay. Well, that's.
Is that what the talk is? That it's a prequel?
No. As far as I know, it's not.
That would be great. I mean, that's
Front loaded.
The
Matrix.
That's pretty good.
Could we do what they did with the Superman movies and say we're going to kind of pretend that the Matrix 2 and 3 don't exist and just kind of pick up where one left off?
I don't like when they do that. It's okay to downplay parts of a series, but don't totally wipe it out. There's fans.
Yeah. The way I look at it is, I'm 100% fine with a fourth movie. Let's see how it goes. Like, the expectations couldn't be any lower in terms of 2 and 3. 1 is a sublime masterpiece for all time. 2 and 3 are weird and not great. So what's the worst that can happen?
But
that 4's not great? And if 4's not great, okay, well, I guess 4 wasn't great, but we still have 1. And if 4 is good and it's a return to form and it's great, well, then we'll all be happy. Like, I have no problem with this. Just make it. It's fine.
I think we could argue whether 2 and 3 are good, but I don't think you can argue whether or not they're fun. They're fun for me.
What I hope is, here's what I hope. I hope that Neo, because Neo died in the third movie. I think
he talked to KFC. He talked to Colonel Sanders, and then he.
That's right. He did talk to Colonel Sanders.
So now we're including all the web series stuff too. Jeez, come on.
No, here's the thing.
Web series stuff.
Yeah.
Like the Animatrix stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
that stuff's really good.
Cool. It was I draw the line there. No.
Here's the thing though.
You can tease. You can even say that the Cloud Atlas is in the same universe, but that's it. I'm drawing the line.
Okay, that's fair enough. But here's what I think. I think that you think that'd be fun if there was a Wachowski universe.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah.
Everything you got all that stuff in there.
You got Lola constantly running. Wasn't Run Lola Run? No, I guess Run Lola was that one of theirs?
I don't know. I remember Baggage or Damage. What was it called? Damage? I remember that. That had Joey Pants in it.
Only damage I remember is from the 80s when that girl with the blonde hair was telling me, "What's my damage?" And I was like, "I don't know, lady."
But anyway, my point is, I think Neo's Neo's on some like thumb drive. That's what's going on, right? They'll find
Neo's on a thumb drive.
Thumb drive.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I've been here the whole time.
Yeah. They're gonna find it in somebody's bag, and they're gonna plug it in, and boom, Neo's back. All right.
Assassins
I don't believe
Matrix,
that. He's gonna
Vendetta, Speed Racer.
Neo's gonna put on about 200 pounds and is gonna be doing cryptocurrency mining. That's what he's gonna be doing.
There you go.
The movie was Bound. I was trying to think of.
Bound. That's
Bound.
Right.
It's got your ladies.
Jennifer Tilly and Gina Gershon and Joey Pants.
Joey Pants. Yep.
Yeah.
And the two ladies were woo getting it on.
Woo.
We actually have a caller for today's contest. Let's see who it is. Hi, you're on the air. Who's this?
It's Talia.
Talia on the line.
Talia, how you doing?
Nice job. There was
I love it when Natalia calls.
Yeah, Talia Essence. Hey, it's good to have you here. And there's the funny thing. You were one of a flurry of calls, so you got lucky today. There was 12 of you, and I picked you out of the sky, and it's you. So good job.
It's me.
A flurry.
A flurry of calls. All right. Brian is going to, not really for your benefit, as you know, but for everyone else, how this works and what they could win. Brian?
That's right. I'm going to be giving Scott and Brian a topic. The two of them are going to go back and forth with answers for that topic. If one of them gives a wrong answer, they repeat an answer, or they take too long to come up with an answer, the win will go to the other player. That was me taking too long to come up with an answer. Your job is to predict, Talia, who's going to come out on top based on the topic. Today, you are playing for the prize package of the stuff we tried to give away to TV's Travis on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Let it be Medea. Let it be Medea.
It won't be.
You want Medea again?
It won't be.
Closure, as well as Dungeon Defenders with all of its DLC. Plus, today we are adding two new Steam games, Snapshot, as well as Avedon, the Black Fortress.
Yeah. Ooh. That's a good game. I have that game. It's very good. Yeah.
Yes. So all four of those games could be yours, plus all that Dungeon Defenders DLC.
Mm-hmm.
But before you can tell me who you want to go first and who you think is going to win, I got to give them a topic. And I'm going right up to the wire on deciding how I'm going to do this topic because I have two ways I can go. and I'm going to go the way of
The dodo.
the dodo. So I've got a list in front of me of all the James Bond films. Too easy to
right.
have you guys name James Bond films. Blah blah blah. I'm either going to go with having you name the theme songs.
Oh my
Because
god.
sometimes they're not the same as the title of the movie.
Yeah.
So far as to make you go through lists
Oh,
of
I
who
thought you were
recorded-
gonna play them. You're just gonna ask the. Okay, go ahead.
what do you think this is? What kind of game do you think this
Well,
is?
at first I was getting super excited. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be like name that tune, and I was like, no, we
Yes.
can't do that. YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
YouTube.
go with the theme songs for each movie because they're not always the same as the titles. So that's a little trick.
Hmm.
I won't make you go so far as to tell me who sang them, but you can. Won't give you any extra points or anything, but you can tell me.
Hmm.
So Talia, James Bond theme songs. Who do you think is going to win, and who do you want to go?
That's a tough one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what? Let's give Scott some faith and say Scott will win and he can go second.
All right. I'm down with that.
And he can go second. You said so.
Yes.
Brian goes first.
Yeah,
Okay.
Brian first. So Brian, go ahead.
All right.
Right.
This is
So,
good. I don't know if this is
What
good.
you're saying is, what's that?
Nothing. Nothing.
I want to make sure that I want to make sure I don't lose like right out the gate. So what you're saying is on the question is the theme song, and I have to name the theme song that was, I guess, released to the radio in most cases, and its title, and not necessarily the title of the film, but it could be the title of the film, right?
It
Could be. Okay. The theme where you see naked ladies dancing, bouncing around with bullets and special effects with
Right.
guns and smoke and things like that. The song you hear at the beginning of the James Bond film. Why are you making this different?
Well, because I just making sure didn't want to stumble right out of the gate
I'm
because
not talking about the song that Roger
Right.
Moore sings karaoke halfway through the film.
okay, just making sure,
All
just
right.
making sure.
All right.
All
Don't
right.
want to slacker this up.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
All right.
All right.
Skyfall by Adele. Can I just name the people too?
You
while I'm
can
at
if
it?
you like. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
absolutely. Skyfall by Adele from the film Skyfall from 2012. We are hitting the road.
All right.
We are going.
My favorite. I don't know which year it was or for sure who wrote it. I know Shirley Bassey
For
sang it,
sure.
but I love Goldfinger.
1964 classic. Do you expect me to name all these Bond songs? No, Mr. Bond. I expect you to die. Bah.
Yep.
Brah.
Goldfinger, 1964, Shirley Bassey, indeed.
All right.
Shirley Bassey. Then we might as well go with. I'm just so nervous here. I'm pretty sure it was called. I'm pretty sure it was called. Okay, we're gonna go with. Die Another Day. Is that?
Die
is
Another
that
Day.
What they called the one? I think it was Die Another Day. Die Another Day.
It was indeed. And do you remember who sang it? Just for shits and giggles?
It was the 80s, and it was a popular singer. Who was it?
It was 2002, and
Was
it
it
was
2002?
Madonna.
Did I say
But
the
she's
80s?
but she's from the 80s, so I'll give you that.
Wait, which one am I thinking of then?
I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't say anything more because you got this right. So I would shut up now.
Which one am I thinking? Is Die Another Day? No,
Die Another Day.
that is a different one. That's a
2002,
different
yes.
one.
Yes.
You're right.
Yes, it is.
Oh
I mean,
crap!
yes, you are.
Now I'm getting nervous.
Yeah, you should get nervous.
All right, Scott, over to you. Maybe pick one from the 1930s.
Live and let die.
There you go. Paul McCartney and Wings from the film of the same name, 1973. The first of the Roger Moore James Bond.
It wasn't until 1980 something that I learned or figured out that wasn't the Beatles and it was him on his own or him with wings. I had no idea. I thought it was the Beatles all that time. So, all right, Dunaway.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
A View to a Kill by Duran Duran. I know that one.
With a
I
view
know
to a
that one.
kill. Yes. 1985, Duran Duran chasing James Bond and Christopher Walken all over the Eiffel Tower in the music video, if I remember correctly. Making things.
Let's see.
Yep.
Hurry up so we can get through this so I can go see what One I'm thinking of.
For your
That time of the
eyes,
day is bothering me.
For
I'm
your
confused
eye-
with another one.
For your eyes only.
1981, Sheena Easton singing "For Your Eyes Only." My
Sheena Easton.
uncle's first wedding, the song that he and his wife danced to for his first wedding.
Really? That's
Yeah.
crazy. Okay, a James Bond theme.
Well,
That's
he
fine.
likes James Bond a lot, so.
That's fine. That's okay. Whatever you got. All right, Dunaway.
Only for you, you'll see what no one else can see. No one breaking free.
That was
for
the
your eyes only.
That was the controversial one because
Go with Moonraker.
hold on a second. When I was in
What?
high school, somebody told me that that in For Your Eyes Only that the lady who he's all into for the whole movie was
Yeah, that's true.
now we would say they were trans now, but at the time I don't remember what the words were that we used, and everyone said it was a man, and nobody told him, and that Roger Moore was all pissed because when he found out later, he's like, I was making out with a man, and he got all mad.
You tricked my libido.
Sean Connery?
Sean Connery, and I don't know why he was. He's more like shaken, not stirred.
Yeah.
But I don't know what his deal was. If that was what do you call it? Urban legend, or if that was real. I still don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if that was real.
I still don't know either, and I honestly thought that was a different movie. But I'm not going to say because
Oh, right.
it's not one you've mentioned. So,
Right.
But Brian
Yeah, I'm
mentioned.
Moonraker. I don't know how much.
I think we could do all of the Shirley Bassey theme songs.
Oh, that's Shirley
with the
Bassey song?
Goldfinger. That's also Shirley Bassey.
Oh, nice.
1979.
I can't even recall how it sounds. Shot through the.
Where are you? Why do you hide?
Oh,
That's how it goes.
nice.
I'll do.
The Moonraker goes.
Spy Who Loved Me had. It's not the name though. Nobody does it better. Is that the name?
Say that.
Is that the
Say-
name? Nobody does it better.
There you
No,
go.
don't say that.
Say that. Carly Simon. Nobody does it better. I love the fact that you sang the title.
Right.
You sang the other part of the song.
That's how I'm. It's how I'm.
1977.
It's how I'm recalling
Nobody does
these.
it better.
I have to.
There's a great Travis cover of that. A great Radiohead cover of that song.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but by the way, breaking
shoot,
news:
what's the
Jedi 71 confirms that Caroline Cozy is a transgender British model. She's appeared in the James Bond film For Your Eyes Only. My question was, was there the controversy where
Roger Moore
Roger Moore
was
didn't
all,
know? Yeah, and was he all worked up about
It was For Your Eyes Only. Good job. Yeah, I was thinking. I still won't say. I'll say which one I think it is once we're done with this game, unless you mention.
All right.
So if you're no, which one you did? Nobody does it better. Carly Simon. Oh, 88 millimeter or 8 millimeter. That's another really good version, really good cover of Nobody Does It Better.
8mm. Oh, the Nick Cage movie, the Nicolas Cage movie, 8mm. Is that it?
No, there's a name of a band that's also 8 millimeter. They recorded it for the
okay.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith soundtrack.
Gotcha.
Dick Growly Bear says, "Well done, Coverville, for giving Scott the answer." I didn't give him the answer.
He just said
the
stop.
answer.
Didn't you?
Yeah, he
But
sang
didn't
it,
you,
and I
though?
just stopped him and said, "Say that."
Yeah, that's fine. I would have
Yeah.
gotten to it because that's the name of the song.
Yes, exactly.
I would have gotten to it.
I'm just trying to save us some time so we can talk about Spider-Man and Watermelon.
Right. It's important. It's important stuff. All
Right.
right.
All right.
Dunaway.
Back
All
over
right.
to Dunaway.
At this point, I'm full of coffee, and I can't remember half the ones we've said, and I am totally out of real theme songs. But of course, I can't forget the title "Octopussy," and I just please tell me that at one point in time there was a song on the radio, and it was called "Octopussy." you do that?
Octopussy. She's the woman with the 8 legs. No. There was never a song called Octopussy. The theme song to Octopussy was All Time High by Rita Coolidge. Because
I'm
of
at an all-time
obvious
high.
reasons. Yeah,
because of reasons.
Yeah.
because of obvious reasons.
Wow, that's fantastic. You look at you, you lost and I won because that's good. Because congratulations.
Congratulations.
That was a
You're
that was a tricksy one.
winner.
Yeah, it
All right,
wasn't
so
easy.
here are the other ones you could have said. There was a From Russia with Love.
Oh wait,
by
can I
Matt
guess one?
Monroe.
Can I guess one?
Oh yeah,
Because I
please
love
do.
him and I'm sad that he died, and I just want to make mention of it. For Casino Royale, it was Chris Cornell. He should still be with us. He's one of the greatest voices of all time, and the song was called "You Know My
What was it
Name,"
called?
and I love that song.
You know my name, Chris
Oh,
Cornell for Casino Royale.
I
Indeed.
totally forgot about
All
that.
All right.
All right, so Thunderball, Tom Jones, You Only Live Twice by Nancy Sinatra. Honor Majesty's Secret Service, the theme song was the title song, but it was an instrumental done by the John Barry Orchestra.
Wait,
the closing credits
I
are
could have said just James Bond theme song.
no, it's called On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Oh,
was the
okay,
name of the
okay.
song. But
Was there one
and
ever just called
actually-
James Bond?
there was Doctor No.
Dang
Doctor
it!
No opened with the actual James Bond. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. The Man with the Golden Gun was Lulu. Oh, I didn't finish. We Have All the Time in the World was played during the closing credits of Louis Armstrong by Louis Armstrong for On Her Majesty's Secret Service, because James Bond gets married. The Man with the Golden
Not
Gun.
for
Lulu,
long.
Not for long. The Living Daylights. Aha. License to Kill.
The
Gladys
Living
Knight.
Daylights. That's what I was
Yes.
thinking of.
Oh, there you go. Goldeneye. Tina Turner. Tomorrow Never Dies. Sheryl Crow. Garbage. The World Is Not Enough. Iceworm is like drumming his fingers on the table, waiting for me to mention that one. You mentioned You Know My Name by Chris Cornell. Another Way to Die for Quantum of Solace, performed by Jack White and Alicia Keys. And finally, Writings on the Wall by Sam Smith for Spectre. I know. We kind of all fell asleep during the
I didn't
the
see
opening music
Spectre.
of that song.
I never saw Spectre.
Is there a
I don't know if
Oh,
it's-
really?
Yeah, I never did.
is there a Spotify playlist with all the theme songs? I need to see this.
I don't know
gotta
if there
be.
is, but there.
How about a
there might
cassette
be.
tape?
There's a Coverville with covers of most of them. Several Covervilles of
What?
James Bond. James Bond Covervilles.
By the way, Snopes clears the air on the whether
The
he
Roger
knew.
Moore thing.
Yeah, apparently it just wasn't the case. Here's the thing. I acknowledge that almost every rumor or kind of, urban legend thing I heard in the 80s, I just assume it was all bullcrap. Like, that's my default stance.
Sure.
I
sure.
sometimes question it
Wait,
or
are you
ask about
telling
it.
me? Are you telling me that Mikey from Life Cereal didn't die by drinking Coke with a belly full of Pop Rocks?
Yes, I'm telling
Wait,
you that
I
actually
thought it was
never
baby
happened.
spider eggs.
That's also a version of it, and this is the problem. Like, we
There's
needed the
there's
internet,
a baby
man.
spider eggs Mikey dead story.
Yeah.
From the cereal.
Yeah.
He likes it. Hey, Mikey.
Yeah.
Baby spider.
There's
eggs?
a
Oh, that's
there's a
hilarious. Never
regional
heard that
version of it where it deals with spider eggs. That is absolutely true. So
one. What about Rod Stewart getting his stomach pumped? What are you telling me? Are you telling me that there was never a hamster situation
See,
with Richard Gere?
Richard
that
Gere.
yeah, remember that Richard Gere thing? Oh, there's so many of those.
I just remember thinking. I just remember during that time when I heard that story, thinking, "How does that happen? How do you do that?
Yeah.
How do you even make? How do you even? That's
Right.
not even possible. Get out of here."
I'm gonna find out. There's probably a whole list
Oh,
of it.
Ibben's like, well, I
possible.
Google searched it.
I have a book of X-rays from the ER that says it's possible.
God.
I have there's a great let's see, hold on. There's a Netflix thing coming. Ooh. There's a Netflix thing coming called 80s and 90s Myths and Legends.
Oh God! Sign me up. Like I want to be notified the day that's available to watch.
I am in on that if that's true. This is some Reddit
Hosted
guy.
by Mikey from Life Cereal. See, I'm alive, you dumbasses.
Well, the codes are yours. Well done and nice job. You picked me with confidence, and I think I delivered. Although Brian, I don't know, you did all right. So here's the
Yeah.
deal. You know how to email Brian. You just send him an email, coverville@gmail.com. He'll send you these codes, and you'll have all the games in the world. How do you feel? Tell us how you feel.
I feel like I finally have redeemed myself by choosing Scott.
Ah, see? Look at that. Once in a while, someone
That's right.
needs to admit
you've
it.
been on before, and I think made the wrong pick. So well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Get that email out there. Thank you for playing as always. Brian Dunaway, having you on is a treat.
Right.
Do you give us a prediction? Matrix 4. Big hit critically and audiences, or a dump. What do you think?
Yeah, a huge mistake.
No,
Let it lie.
Jeez.
Right. But why not? Why not? I mean, I think it'll do all right, and I think the critics will probably be, like whatever. I predict a 66% Rotten Tomatoes score.
Wow.
Oh, okay. That seems a reasonable.
66% is higher than I would have probably predicted for it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's not going to be a total stinker, but it's not going to be anything to remember either.
All
I
right.
just feel it.
Well,
I need guns, lots and lots of guns.
Good luck bending my spoon.
those though they're getting them all back except for, I guess, Morpheus isn't confirmed, but Carrie Ann Moss is coming back. You got Keanu Reeves coming back. No Tank and Dozer. I guess they're really dead.
Will there be a rave? Please tell me there will be a scene with a rave. Zion.
I hope
Right.
so. I like it in Zion. All right, have fun. Be good. Stay out of trouble. See you on Wednesday. No, today's Wednesday. See you on Monday. All right, Brian. Oh, geez, we have no time for anything. You know what? Actually, we do. We're going to do a little bit of news because Tom's not here anyway. So we'll just go a little longer on the news.
Sure.
So here goes. Have this. Use this.
This is your radio newscaster with another exclusive, sensational summary of world and local events.
It is the news, and it's brought to you by.
Brought to you by Coverville. Hey, Gene, do you know who's having a birthday today?
Oh, we're
Gene
supposed to do this in
Simmons.
the voice? Oh,
No,
okay.
we're not going to really do this
right.
now. Gene Simmons is having a birthday this week, as well as Thin Lizzy. Well, Thin Lizzy's filling out would have had his 70th birthday this week, and Jamie Cullum is celebrating a birthday this week. So Kiss, Thin Lizzy, and Jamie Cullum all celebrated on today's episode of Coverville. Let's just get to this story, Scott.
All right. How do I know Cullum, by the way? Who is that?
Jamie Cullum?
Yeah.
You know him from a Radiohead cover he did of High and Dry, probably. That's his best known
Okay.
cover.
Name
He's
is
kind of a piano jazz musician. Well, I don't know if he's the one who plays the piano, but he's accompanied by a pianist. If he's not playing the piano himself, then it's like a very cool lounge jazz sound.
nice.
Yeah,
Sounds
you'll
like
like
a
him.
good one. All right, there you go. Here's our top story and the one we need to talk about. Disney and Sony have had a standoff, and then it ended. Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige, their involvement in Spider-Man is no longer secure. Now, I actually want to say something before maybe I'll read this first and then I'll tell you. I actually have a very grounded take on this that I hope people will listen to, because the internet lost its mind yesterday.
They did, yeah, and I bet I'm on the same bandwagon as you. So let me hear your.
All right, so here you go. Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige, whatever it is, won't produce any further Spider-Man films because of an inability by Disney and Sony Pictures to renew terms that would have given the former co-financing stake going forward. A dispute that has taken place over the past few months at the top of Disney and Sony is essentially nixed Feige and the future involvement of Marvel with the Spider-Man universe. According to sources, this comes at a moment when the last two films that he helped produce broke all-time records for Sony and Disney. Those two Spider-Man movies did really, really well. Also, Avengers Endgame, the highest-grossing film of all time, and Spider-Man Far From Home surpassed the James Bond film Skyfall to become the all-time highest-grossing film for Sony Pictures ever. We were just talking about Skyfall. That's funny. So clearly, that was a good thing for Sony. So why Sony's being so weird about this, I don't know. Or why Disney's being weird. Nobody knows who's being the weirdest because we don't have a lot of details about it. However, this could mean the excising of Spider-Man from the MCU and all the stuff they've been doing with Tom Holland's character in the MCU would be done and over. Now, that's the current status of things. I have two points I want to make. One, if you just be patient, I think this works itself out, and they do come to an agreement. That will happen.
I think so too. I think this is just them playing negotiating tactics.
100% agree. And it would be Sony leaving massive amounts of money on a table. It would also be Sony making a gigantic mistake with the best franchise they have right now. So
Right.
I think that they will figure out a way to come together. Regardless of all of that, or regardless how it turns out, I believe that this is a leak on purpose. And I'll bet, I'm 99% convinced in my own head, that it's Disney leaking this to put fire under Sony's feet because they're now witnessing the public backlash.
All right, and let me ask a dumb question here, because I'm looking at Sony Pictures tweets about, much of today's news about Spider-Man has mischaracterized recent discussions about Kevin Feige's involvement in the franchise, blah blah blah. Aren't they just saying Feige is, they don't want Feige being executive producer of the films, but that still does allow Disney / Marvel to co-produce them, just without Feige's involvement?
I mean, it sounds like that on the surface of it, but
yeah,
Disney would argue that you can't do it without him. Like he's the point man on all this. So not having him involved is like saying, what's it like saying? It's like saying,
Feige, by the way, or it's funny. Jedi 71 says Feige. Icor right underneath them says Feige.
Yeah, it's everyone. I've heard of multiple people say it wrong.
I don't even know if he knows how to pronounce his own name.
Yeah, we'll say Feige.
Feigar. Let's call him Feigar.
Feigar.
And just imagine that he chases Dig Dug around the.
Oh, I like it. Feigar is awesome. Anyway, that's what they're saying, but I don't think you do it without him. It's a little bit like saying, "Hey, I really like those Bob Ross painting videos, but can someone else paint?" Like, I think he's your guy.
You think so? You think it's that closely tied? I
do.
I almost feel like it's a what's a good example of this? Like okay, like did George Miller have any involvement? Was he director of Thunderdome? I know he directed Mad Max and Road Warrior.
Yeah, he did them all. He did
all three or all four, I guess. Okay,
yeah, he's done everything.
All right, so that's not a good example.
Right.
How about George Lucas not being involved in not being executive or director of Episode 5?
Well, see, in that case, it turned out to be a better thing because turns out he sucks at directing. Or I should say directing Star Wars. He's not great at his own, he's too close to it, I think.
Yeah.
But this would be here's the example. This would be like the 1980 late 80s early 90s Chicago Bulls saying, we're going to go ahead and play this season, but we're not going to. Jordan's going to sit out. We're the same Bulls. We're the same Bulls. Don't worry. Okay. It's all the Bulls still, but we'll be fine. But no, you won't. He's your best guy. That's what I think. That's what Feigar is.
Okay.
He's the best guy. So I don't know. It's hard to say.
I mean, I feel like, yeah. I feel like there could be wiggle room because the Russo brothers directed. They obviously didn't executive produce, but they directed Infinity War and Endgame, and thought they did a great job. And I'm wondering how much of that falls on direction and how much of that falls on the executive producer.
So the chat room's making fun of my analogy. How does that Michael Jordan one not work? They're just like,
I feel like the Michael Jordan one is the closest one. I don't feel like the Bob Ross one.
Yeah, maybe that's a bad one, but like Rainbow Bright says, we love Scott's terrible analogies, and then somebody else says they're so ridiculous and I love them, and then Jack Labashi says, I know, I hate to even bring it up. What is so bad about the Michael Jordan one? That's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I feel like that is, yeah. Or maybe it's the coach versus the players, right? I mean, it's take the Chicago Bulls out of it and maybe look at the Patriots without Belichick and say, all right, is the team still strong without Belichick at the lead, without Belichick calling the shots?
Are they strong
Tom Brady's maybe
enough?
Your director equivalent,
yeah.
or
are they strong enough? Yes. Are they as strong? No. And maybe Spider-Man would be strong enough. But is it still as good as it could be? Is it as much money as you really want to make?
I'd much rather see a Marvel picture, or a Spider-Man picture I'm sorry. Let me start over so this can get kept out and used forever. I'd much rather see a Spider-Man film with some Marvel involvement than zero Marvel involvement. And if it means no Kevin, I'd like to see what that is, because we've seen zero Marvel involvement, and I think we were all a little bit disappointed in what the Spider-Man films are like without any Marvel involvement.
Well, if Sony's
Peter Parker,
if Sony's being genuine about this, then yeah, because then that means that you can still do your MCU business, and maybe just Kevin's not involved.
Right.
But according to these internal sources, this is a breakdown that means MCU gone, and if that's true, that's very bad. We can't go back to that.
No, we can't. Exactly.
So I guess we'll wait and see. But again, my feeling is they'll come together. It'll all work out.
I guess Marvel couldn't hold on to Miles Morales and let Peter Parker go with Sony, right?
Right.
It's all part of the same franchise, part of the same contract.
Right. It's exactly right.
Yeah.
I really do think they work it out, though. It's going to be fine. Everyone's going to freak out until they don't, and it's going to be fine.
Scarlet Spider, part of the new MCU.
This will have that effect, though. This will have the effect, whether Disney leaked it or not, this will have the effect of firing up fans. It became the number one trending anything of all time yesterday.
Oh, yeah,
there's no way Sony doesn't see that and doesn't see that backlash. And also, Sony knows the history of their previous films is a real dark business. It's not good. So work it out, you guys. Come together right now over me. All right. Hey, Brian, would you put watermelon on your pizza?
I would not. I'll go so far as to put pineapple on my pizza, and I like pineapple on pizza very much.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine putting watermelon on my pizza, because I feel like it would dry out and become jerky, in the oven. Like
that's what I would worry about, yeah.
Whether it's separated with cheese or on top of the cheese or whatever, I don't feel like it's doable.
Right. I completely agree. Well, this man on Reddit, a Reddit man.
What's his power? Thumbs down on everything.
Sorry, my wife just came in and everything's very loud. What are you doing? Oh, you doing garbage? I thought we had it all for the garbage cans. This morning, Kim told me I was in the kitchen and Kim goes, starting to feel it again. I go, what? She goes, like everyone's made. Which is usually what that means
she's coming to take it out your garbage.
Yeah, that means we got to step it up. We got to keep it. See, you're doing this now when I could do it right after the show.
Garbage is going out in 10 minutes.
Oh, it is? All right.
The garbage man is waiting outside, tapping his foot on the sidewalk.
That sounds about right. Anyway, so this guy's putting watermelon on his pizza. I would not do it. He's an unnamed man. He's on the Reddit. He confesses.
Anonymous Reddit man, the
That's
best
right.
kind.
He says, let's see. He often bakes his pizza with watermelon on top, and his post on Reddit, man only known as Watermelon on Pizza 222, explains how the strange topping initially started out as a dare, and he ended up enjoying the taste. He wrote, I like watermelon.
My first thought is there are 221 people before him who got watermelon on pizza who took the name.
That's a really good point. Also, did he never use Reddit until that day? Must have just signed up.
Right, yes.
Because he used the watermelon reference as his name.
Yeah.
It defines him now.
Melanon.
I am Melanon.
Why the word on? Just watermelon pizza.
Watermelon on. I like watermelon on. It's pretty good.
Watermelon on pizza.
That's a good
Melanon.
Melanon. It's a good band name.
It's a good band name, or a group that you joined to get over your addiction to watermelon pizza.
Yeah. Or a medication.
I'm gonna go join Melanon.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Bill, and I'm addicted to cantaloupe. Hi, Bill.
I haven't put watermelon on pizza for 6 weeks.
This is really good.
It's been difficult. There are times that I'll come home from a hard day and
it's really good.
Look at the watermelon sitting over there and a Totino's pizza.
He does say this though. He I want to make this part clear. He says that he doesn't put the watermelon's not there the whole time for the cooking. It's only toward the end, and so that it's not what you described. All melted down and gross.
Gotcha.
So maybe that's okay. Maybe.
I don't know. It's still going to add so much liquid to the pizza that it's going to make it soggy. So basically, you're baking the pizza till it's almost done, then adding watermelon and putting it back in the oven.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be on top of the cheese.
Yeah. Ugh. I don't think I can do it.
I don't know. I mean, I'd try it for sure, but I don't know. Are there any other toppings? Is this just a straight marinara mozzarella pizza with watermelon on top?
It sounds like it. It sounds like any normal pizza, but with just some mozzarella, some watermelon on top. and I still in my head I'm thinking of all the ways you could do it, when you'd put it on, is it cold, is it not? Like, it doesn't matter what scenario I have in my head, it all sounds bad.
Right. Yeah, Gidget's in the chat room. She says chicken, onion, and pine nut pizza is the best. That does sound really good. I mean, I've had chicken, onion, barbecue pizza, which I really like. Actually, in Australia, they crack an egg right on the pizza right before they put it in the oven, and it cooks the egg on top. And I want to say there was
how many eggs? You put like multiple eggs on it? Like a bunch of eggs?
You can. Okay. Yeah, you can do multiple eggs. The place we went, it was right outside of Darling Harbor. We had just one single cracked egg on the middle of the pizza, and it was good. Beets, I want to say I had beets on pizza. Fresh beets.
Fresh beets, yeah.
No, it was pickled beets, but
pickled beets are so good.
Pickled beets on pizza, and that was
that
was really good.
Fantastic. You know what? More pickled stuff on pizza. That sounds great in general.
Well, you already do. Like the pickled mushrooms, I think are so much better than the fresh mushrooms. And we actually switched when I was at Pizza Hotline. Our initial thing was we were doing fresh mushrooms, and we're like, oh, we even advertised it, fresh mushrooms on our pizza, not that canned stuff. And then people said, yeah, the canned stuff works better because the fresh stuff really dries out and just turns into texture with no flavor.
Yeah, like
you
little
do the pickled mushrooms,
like little pieces of paper on the pizza at the end of the day.
Yeah, right. They thin out, and it's like, eh.
I agree. That's interesting because the preserved form of the thing is going to cook better on there. That's true.
Exactly, and you get the mushroom flavor. But Tazalix puts a good photo in there with the watermelon on pizza. That might be the way to do it. Go to one of those Papa Murphy's take and bakes, get a pizza, bring it home, cook it, take it out, throw some watermelon on there, and do it that way as opposed to doing the whole thing.
Well, at least try it. Just try it out. I'd try it.
Yeah, that might be the way to do it.
That doesn't look too bad.
I'd totally try it.
I mean, those look like tomatoes to me, and so that's why I think it makes me want to eat it. But tomatoes also a fruit, so I don't know.
Yep.
Boy, I had a tweet go not viral, but kind of semi crazy yesterday. I put up a tweet asking if tomatoes are if tomatoes are fruits, then is ketchup a smoothie? And a lot of people think it's a smoothie. Like ketchup's a smoothie if it's a fruit.
if ketchup is a smoothie because tomatoes are fruit.
Yeah,
that's funny.
I didn't expect as much traction as that got, but it just occurred to me that might be a thing. All right, we'll try it maybe one of these days. Brian and I will just give it a shot and maybe see what we think.
Yeah, I'd totally be up for trying that.
Don't hold us to it, but if we remember, we'll do it. All right, I think we'll take a break. When we come back, Nicole will be here. We're going to do some recommendals. At least I think Nicole's here. Let me check my texts. Just realized I haven't heard from her, so maybe that's a good. Yeah, I haven't heard from her.
Yes.
So we'll do that and some other stuff. So come on back. Before that, though, a song from Brian. Would you please explain what it is?
Yeah, this is a fun one that is going to it's going to be really weird because there's a lot of inside jokes on this that I feel like none of us are going to get, including me and you. However, I think that this still actually provides a lot of entertainment, and that I know it does because it did to me, and I've listened to it several times. Hey, Brian and Scott, longtime listener, third-time song requester. In the past, I've requested a cover song as well as my own band, Black Acres. This time, I have something very different. This is a song I wrote, recorded, produced, and fully even produced a video to go along with. This was all done to form the opening to my best man speech, so I will give the same introduction I did on the weekend of my sister and my best friend's wedding, thus cementing their wedding in the TMS catalog forever. Quick note first that the video can be found on YouTube by searching Gavin Barnett, I'm the Best Man.
All right.
Thanks for the show, Doe. And he says, I'm Gavin. Looking around the room, I see that most people already know me, but for those who don't, I've made a short presentational video to shed a little more light on myself. Which is great. I love that opening already.
Yep.
So this is a song called I'm the Best Man. It's a rap song that talks about the groom and bride. And I really, for whatever reason, really get a kick out of this thing, even though there are a few what feel like they must be inside jokes about dogs cleaning out belly buttons and stuff like that. But anyway, here it is. Gavin Barnett, I'm the Best Man.
Sorry, Jeannie. Yes, it is rap. So you may want to mute this. I don't know. She doesn't like rap. All right, here it is. We'll play it now. We'll be back in a minute. Stay tuned.
Good morning. I just want to touch base with you. I'm going in to have a shot in my spine today.
Never stop on a freeway.
The morning stream.
Where's that?
All right, we're back, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Let's.
Oh, and Lesarge put the video in chat too, so those of
very
you
nice.
listening live, you can watch that after the show.
Yeah, super nice. All right, let's get Nicole up in it. Make her a part of it. Tom's still in jolly old England, and I believe he gets back this weekend. So he'll be here next Wednesday.
Okay. Good. It'll be nice to have him back.
Yeah. I will be on DTNS today, though, which is fun. Nicole, are you there? Maybe, sort of.
Where's Nicole?
She's either muted or Mark effed it up. You never freaking know. Could be anything.
Oh, Tom's in Paris, says Jeannie in Taxicab.
Oh, I didn't know they were doing...
Commander Paris.
I didn't know they were going from one European city to another. I had no idea.
Yeah, at last I saw they were in Ireland, I think.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good for them.
I think that's where I started. Scotland, maybe? Oh, they were in Dublin, yeah. I remember
Dublin.
seeing a picture of Grafton Street.
Ah, Grafton. Good old Grafton.
Good old Grafton Street. Hey, I see a Nicole.
I do too. Hi.
Sorry, I was folding laundry. I thought there was a song playing.
Oh, no, you're good.
How long has it been since you've listened to this show?
we don't play them live anymore. We do them in the post because YouTube hates us, and that's why. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we get our YouTube shutdown notices from playing clips of movies.
Yeah,
Oh.
we have to.
Do
We had to move on. Yeah, if I show, it depends. It's not always, but if I show like,
Not always.
in fact, you remember that day, Nicole, you were on and you told us about that kid that was super popular on YouTube. I forgot his name. Ryan.
yeah, right.
Ryan.
Yeah. I showed just literally 15 seconds of his YouTube channel, just like the latest video playing. And I got a complete shutdown of the video. They wouldn't even, it wasn't like you can't,
Not even
it
like
wasn't
a non-monetization.
Yeah, none of that. It was like,
he uses a service called Pocket Watch, and they manage all of his licensing.
Wow.
And they license like Hulu license, like they clipped all of his. It's a whole. He has like 25 people on staff.
wow.
Of course he does.
For that-
Jeez
for that
Louise.
I know.
We're giving this kid too much damn power.
That's
Take
right.
it away.
Right. Right. His parents are
My son
socking
has
it away.
his backpack.
Really?
Crazy. Yes.
This is a good week for that. He went back to school this week, right? Or was that last week?
Last week.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Speaking of, I want to give a quick hello to Isaac. He introduced himself to me at my son's school. And he goes, "Are you Nicole?" I said, "I am." He goes, "I listen to the morning stream."
That's cool.
That's awesome. Wait, was he a parent?
And oh my God, you shouldn't be at that age.
Yeah, no kidding. Wait, was that a kid? Was that a parent? Like, what
No,
was
no,
it?
it was a dad. It was dad, and he has 3 children in tow. So I'm like,
Oh, okay. Yeah, Brian.
Go
I think
dad.
Brian thought you meant a little kid or something, but yeah, it was an adult.
no.
Okay. That wasn't a
Sorry, it was a
teacher. It was
dad.
like a parent, right?
It was a parent. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh,
Parent.
good.
Yeah. I wanted to hear if it was.
Yeah.
I wanted to hear if it was a teacher because whenever I find out teachers listen to us, it weirds me out because it just feels like
Why?
I don't know why. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you.
I know. Like we're ruining
The fabric
we're
of
ruining
society.
the education system remotely by proxy, right? Like I get it. I know what you're saying.
It does feel like that a little bit. Or a
That's
doctor.
my brother. Get out of here.
Like any other, like a lawyer or doctor, I'll find out like a doctor listens, and I just go, "Ooh, really? Okay."
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know why. I just have this weird thing
When
with
we
that.
have law enforcement write us on our woodworking show that Mark and I do on Fridays, I feel very humbled and like, oh gosh, I hope I don't get in trouble.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
weird, right? You respect.
Yeah.
I think you just respect the
Totally.
Yeah.
the aura or whatever that they have
Yeah.
because they worked hard, they've earned it, they've got like a status that's not yours. I don't know, it's weird. Can't figure it out. Anyway, it's time for recommendals, everybody. We do stuff we've seen on streaming services or are currently watching that we recommend to you, the listener. These can be things on Netflix, Hulu, Prime, even if they're just rentals. Sometimes that will happen. But
Are
we're
we
gonna...
okay to play clips still?
Oh yeah, we're fine on that.
Oh, okay.
Audio clips, no, I haven't had any big issues with. I had a couple.
Okay.
It's pretty rare though. One time we had a film sack, and I don't remember the movie. Oh, I know, I do remember that. It was the stupidest movie. It was Brian. What's the one where Samuel L. Jackson gets eaten by the shark, and no one expected it?
Deep Water, Deep Rising,
Deep blue,
Deep Blue Sea,
Deep Dark Doop, Deep Blue Sea.
Sounds like we sound like with beep bop 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 bop. The Jetsons.
That's so
beep,
dumb.
Op orc. Yeah, that's right.
So yes, it's the Deep Blue Sea, and for some reason that movie set off all these alarms with somebody. So I got multiple notices. That's when I stopped putting Film Sack on YouTube, because I got multiple notices saying you're in violation of whatever. I'm like, really? Like 2-second, like this is the most fair use I've ever. I'm not going to court with you guys. I'm just going to stop posting to YouTube. F off. All right. Hey, Brian, you always start. Why don't you start? What do you got? A clip here?
I'll start with a clip. Yes, this is something recent, and I kind of screwed up, and I'll explain how I screwed up after we hear the clip.
All right, here it is. Whoops, here.
It's a double murder. I think it's a double murder.
This is in Keller?
Yeah, just outside of town. Look, I know it's not like we've been in touch at all, but my dad talks about you, and I read about your case with that woman a few months ago.
Yes. Never had too big a deal of that thing.
Well, I could actually use another set of eyes on this. I know you haven't been back here in a long time, but I was hoping maybe you could come up here and take a look. The reason is the suspect. He's young, really young, like maybe 11 years old. Honestly, I have a lot of eyes on me with this one. I don't want to make the wrong call.
I have no idea.
Is this the one you told me about?
It's
Brian?
the one I told you about, Nicole. This is a series called The Sinner.
Okay.
It's on Netflix. There are 2 seasons. Sinner! That guy you're hearing is Bill Pullman, who's only 65, but for some reason in the show sounds like he's 80.
Yeah. I like Bill Pullman in his later years.
I do too.
Yeah.
But it's like in this show, he's trying to move his mouth as little as possible when he talks. Anyway, this is really good. And here's where I messed up. And I blame Netflix for this, because I've never watched any of The Sinner. And when I pulled up and went to the page to start watching it, because I was told to stop watching Another Life because it's bad, even though I enjoyed the first episode, but I hear it gets really bad.
Yeah.
So I decided to watch something else.
Starbuck.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wanted that to be good. It bums me out. Ugh. Anyway. Yeah.
So
they can't all be winners.
Right, exactly. So I decided, all right, well, this is another one that I've had on my list that I've heard a lot of people saying good things about. So I went and jumped on Netflix, went to that page, hit play, and started watching from.
Oh, good. Sorry, the clip of The Sinner. So I went to Netflix, I pulled up The Sinner, and it's just a bloody hand, and they're trying to cut her fingernails.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, God. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
That must have happened in season 1, because
you watched season 2.
Netflix started me right out in season 2. Now here's the good news. Here's the saving grace. That clip that we just played, where she says, "Yeah, I heard about that other case you had with that woman." That's the only reference apparently that there is to season 1 and season 2.
Oh.
Bill Pullman's the main character in both, but they're completely different stories, kind of self-contained separate stories. Okay. So I actually feel okay that I watched season 2, and I'm kind of happy because Carrie Coon is in season 2, and I really like Carrie Coon from The Leftovers, and
she's amazing.
She's Proxima Midnight in the the films with Thanos and the Avengers.
Yep. Really good. The Fargo season she was in was fantastic.
The Fargo season, yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah.
So the good news, Nicole, if you don't want to see that bloody hand scene again, just do what I did and start with season 2 of The Sinner.
And they're just trimming her nails, but it's just making my skin crawl watching them wiggle it. And,
is that Jessica Biel who I'm looking at?
It is Jessica Biel
is in the first season, and she's also executive producer of the show throughout the whole thing.
She looks really
so
different.
She appears
to me.
in the first season. I never saw her, and that's the other thing. I as I was getting through this thing, somebody said, or I saw something about Jessica Biel being in the first season. I'm like, oh, she hasn't shown up yet. Cool. I can't wait to see when Jessica Biel shows up.
Yeah.
Well, apparently she doesn't show up at all in the second season.
Huh.
So it's an anthology kind of.
Yeah, except it's the same character. Like Bill Pullman's character is still the investigator, the detective, Harry Ambrose, in season 1 and season 2.
Okay. So it's all centered around him as the investigator for this stuff.
As the main driving force. And yeah, the apparently the seasons take place in different places and it's a whole different mystery that he's got to solve. So
you're talking my language here. I love shows like this, so I'm in.
It's really, really good. And I would say it's if you make at least season 2, if you combined The Killing and The Path, you'll get season 2 of The Sinner.
Tell me if it's The Killing season 1, not The Killing season 2, because that show got dumb after season 1.
This show is so much better paced, so much more well paced than season.
Murder He Wrote.
Murder He Wrote. That's pretty good.
Yeah, Murder He Wrote. This is so much better paced than The Killing.
Good, because the killing was really great. That first season was so good of The Killing, and then it just got stupid.
Till the ending cliffhanger. It's like, oh, so we're not gonna solve the mystery in the first season? Great. All right, thank you for that.
It turned into like freaking Riverdale after that. I hated it after that.
It really did.
It got better toward when Netflix picked it back up and finished it. It did get better, but like seasons 2 and 3 made me want to fart blood. Did not like them. Sorry, Nicole, you're already dealing with blood over there. I shouldn't say.
That's all right. I scrolled quickly.
All right, I'm gonna watch it. That sounds great to me. Well, I also watched something on Netflix and made a clip of it, and I'm not quite done with it. So because I just started it actually just dropped. Let's call it season 2 of something. So it already existed. I may have even have recommended it before, but I am doubling down again because it is great. So here's season 2 and a clip.
January 1974. They just moved in 2 months prior. My partner and I were first on the scene. He was feeling for a light when something bumped him, hanging from this pipe.
Jesus. I found someone to take over who will be very good for the BSU. He wants to expand the unit, and he intends to make our approach practice.
Tell me, who's the one you want more than anything? Manson. I'll get you Manson.
All right. Any ideas?
Manson.
Yeah.
Oh, is this Mindhunter?
This is Mindhunter season 2.
Okay.
Mindhunter season 1.
Somebody guessed it before you even played the clip.
Yeah, they
Someone in the chat room guessed it.
Sure, well, because you did recommend season 1 of that, and I saw that season 2 just came out. So
it is one of the best, if not the best, show on Netflix right now.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I loved season 1, and I really like season 2 so far. It is so good. I probably described the basics of it before, but I'll do it briefly. The way the show works is you have these 2 main characters. Jonathan Groff plays Holden Ford, and Holt McCallany, I think you say his name, plays Bill Tench. These guys are freaking fantastic. One is young, kind of a phenom. It's the 70s. They're in the FBI. They start a new division. This also has Anna Torv in it. You remember her from...
from Fringe.
Fringe, yeah. She's great in this as well.
Is she Australian in this, or is she...
She's American. Full American.
She's American?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you hear in interviews with her Australian accent, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah, it's weird.
She really hid that for...
Yeah, she does a great job here, too, as well. She just totally hides it. But
I like her a lot.
It's set in the mid-'70s. It's a David Fincher production. He directed the pilot, and I want to say various episodes, including the finale last year, or 2 years ago, whenever it ended. And then, still has involvement here. He said on the record he would like this to go 5 full seasons if he has anything to say about it. It's definitely got his vibe throughout. Like, it's very David Fincher. But it's not like Seven. Seven was all about, one shocking thing after another, his movie Seven. It was just like always freaking you out. This has got that tone of these guys are a special division going after not just serial killers, but trying to establish a new understanding and method and workflow at the FBI. And this is all based on real stuff to suss out these guys based on mental profiles and why they do the things they do. And the reason they know these things because they sit down and interview famous serial killers who are now in prison serving out their time and or are on death row. and they're talking to them, trying to get them to open up about what motivated them. Did they return to the scene of the crime? Why did they do that? Did they kill animals when they were younger? And did that, all that kind of stuff. It's all very creepy, dark stuff, but it's handled in such a methodical, procedural way. It doesn't feel like a TV show as much as it feels like someone's trying to show me an accurate portrayal of what this job was like. And it still has its moments of intensity. It still has that kind of stuff, but there's no real action in it. There's no, like, if you're going to this thing hoping you're going to get some crazy car chase where they found the killer and they're going to go hunt him down and shoot him, that's not what this is. This is really amazing acting, incredible dialogue, guys who look just like the dudes they're playing. For example, let's see, who's the guy's name? Oh, I don't remember the name of this. The serial killer's a real dude in real life, and his name is, it's not Jim Barney, that's a different guy. But they like Son of Barney, Sam and all these guys. I can't think of his name. Not the
3 word. No, he's way older.
I can't find his name.
Ed Kemper.
Ed Kemper.
The
guy that plays the guy that plays Ed Kemper. And if you've never heard of Ed Kemper, look him up. Horrible, horrible person. Terrible, terrible crimes. But they interviewed Ed Kemper multiple times, especially in season 1. I think he shows up again in 2, but I haven't gotten to him yet. That actor is incredible.
Oh yeah, and he's the one that you always see on the art that they show, the video art that they show on Netflix.
Right. Yeah, you see him all the time. He is why he's not lavished with like Emmys and things, I don't know. He's really, really good.
Wow.
And in this season, you get to, like that clip indicated, you get with Manson, although I haven't gotten to those episodes yet. Apparently, the guy that plays Charlie Manson is incredible and really, really convincing. Anyway, it says here David Fincher directed 7 of the episodes. I just find it really, really something. I think it is incredibly well written, and I think it's brave in the sense that it's not trying to be a typical thing. It's almost like, hey, remember True Detective, the first season, how great that was? Mm-hmm. That, but then apply it to like an actual time, an actual place with actual people who are doing real things. Like this is a historical based. I mean, there's a lot of they take some freewheeling, but it's mostly based on the actual characters or these guys at the time that worked for the FBI, this new department, the way they worked with serial killers. Like I find it just fascinating and not gawky or true crime. It's not like that. It's something else. It's very, very good. It's very dramatized.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong, but it's
Cameron
excellent.
Britton. Cameron Britton's the guy who plays the character on Mindhunter, and he was in Umbrella Academy as one of the guys that was chasing after.
Oh, I can't wait till that comes back. Second season.
5 or what was the youngest one's name?
The youngest.
Oh, it's
yeah.
5. So good.
I assume that show was like all adult. Is it okay for kids? Because some 7-year-old told me the other day that they watched it and loved it.
No.
Not good for kids?
No.
Well, how kids are you thinking?
I had a 7-year-old come up to me and say, "I love that show. It's my favorite show."
Oh yeah, no, I would not let
I would never let my son watch that
7-year-old.
show.
Well, that's what I thought about. I went, wait a minute.
There's like lots
13,
of
14, no problem. Yeah, but
not 7. Okay.
No.
Not 7. Definitely not.
All right,
7.
I haven't seen
I
it.
mean,
So
I guess
don't know.
every kid is different, but still, it's not. No.
I'd say it's only slightly less gory and adult topics than The Boys.
Oh, only slightly? Because
Boys slightly. Yeah.
Boys is hardcore,
I take that back because there's some
like end of the world stuff and like a lot of. There's like a lot of killing.
Wasn't as heavy as The Boys.
Yeah, The Boys is hard R, I would say.
Rape and
at
gore
least
and stuff.
PG-13.
Yeah. The Boys was something. I did watch that. Did I tell you I finished that? I love The Boys. Boys was great. Loved it.
Hey, since you brought up Manson.
Yeah.
I already asked Brian this. Have you seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Not yet. Brian has.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
I finally got to the movies to see it, and I loved it.
Yes. And I love the comment you made about it, because we were talking about what we liked about it, what you didn't like about it, and tell Scott what you said.
So now that we know, Tarantino has a thing for feet. He does feature feet a number of times in this, and there's one where he makes this girl's feet so smushy and like it's just not attractive because she's pushing. You know how sometimes you push your feet against like the front of a
windshield,
and her
put your
feet.
feet up on the dash.
So the camera's like right in front, and her feet are just smushed. It's like I don't really want to see her smushy
Her feet take up like 2/3 of the screen, and you see the actress behind them.
I know, so weird, but it's such a cool movie. Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, Brad Pitt for me was the biggest.
He was amazing.
The biggest. I mean, not a surprise because we know he's good, but man, just like the standout role for him.
Yeah, and the little actress, she is. I love her on. I think American Mom is the show the sitcom that she's in.
Oh, right, I know who that is.
Yeah, tiny little girl.
Yeah, she's good.
I love her. She was in that, and I did. There were times where I know that they were doing a bunch of flashbacks, and there was a few times where I was like, oh, I knew about the Manson murders. I knew that history. So you have this dread as you're watching this film. Mark, on the other hand, had no idea. He didn't really know. He knew of it, but he didn't really know the details of it. You know, who was involved and all that. So it was very interesting to talk to him after the movie, and we discussed this film like for days after, and then he was looking into the story, and it is an impressive film. So
by the way, the chat room informs me that the guy in Mindhunter, who I haven't seen yet, but who plays Charles Manson, also plays Charles Manson in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah, that's crazy. Damon Harriman. Apparently, that dude just looks like. Oh yeah, look at that guy. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, that's going to be his job until the end of time. He was in Justified. He was Dewey Crow in Justified. Remember Dewey Crow?
Oh, that's the same guy.
That's the guy.
Oh, totally is.
Yeah. That's great.
Oh, poor guy.
That's great.
Poor guy. He has a career in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah, but always playing, one of the most notorious cult leader murder organizers.
He works a lot, though. That dude gets lots of work. Yeah.
The Once Upon a Time in history. I found it fascinating to kind of get maybe not 100%, but just a little slice on how neurotic and self-absorbed actors can be. There's a scene where Leonardo DiCaprio goes into his trailer and he just loses it. And I just thought it was an amazing performance. I'm like, I could totally see that. I mean, as a real person trying to make it in Hollywood.
Yeah, I do that every time I have a bad TMS. Like, just rip the place apart.
Yep, tear it a
and
new
you talk to yourself in the mirror.
And I talk to myself. You're better than this. You can do this. You're way better than this.
Yeah, it's a little unnerving when I hear him do it.
I know. Sometimes I forget to turn the camera off.
Sure.
Hang up the call.
I'm showing the chat.
Hey, Nicole, do you have a
Oh yeah, Nicole, what do
I
you
forgot.
got?
Here's my clip. It has nothing to do with serial killers.
Okay.
But it is on
there has been a theme today, hasn't there?
Yeah. This is a dark comedy. It's streaming on HBO. I finally got to see it. I enjoyed it.
Cool.
All right. Oops. Hold on. I'm clicking the wrong window. There it is. Okay, I'm playing now. Sort of. Here we go.
Dearest Queen, how goes the kingdom? Did you just look at me? Stop it! I am the Queen, but you are mad. Throw! Throw!
You look like a badger.
I've sent for some lobsters. I thought we could brace them and then eat them.
Okay. I don't know what this is, but I kind of want to watch it. What's it called?
It's called The Favorite.
Oh, the one that was it was an Oscar contender last year.
Yeah. So what you need to know about this film is that the same director that did The Lobster, which is really weird and kind of out there, did this film as well.
Yeah,
so,
The Lobster is weird.
Weird.
Yeah,
okay,
it's weird, but I don't think it was as weird as The Lobster. I mean,
it wasn't as weird. Yeah, it wasn't as weird. But the ending of this one, I had to Google because I'm like, what? What happened?
I haven't seen The Lobster, but I saw The Killing of a Sacred Deer, which is also freaking weird.
Oh, I haven't seen that one yet. That's another one that I wanted to watch. That Sumner or whatever. What the heck? Midsummer.
Yeah.
That's in the theaters right now.
Midsummer. No, whatever it is. Yeah.
I ended up just Wikipedia because I'm like I probably won't get to see this, so I want to know what everybody's talking about at this movie.
Oh, this is that Olivia Colman lady who was so funny at the awards, and I found out later she's in Hot Fuzz, and she's amazing in Hot Fuzz. Anyway,
she's wonderful,
and she's the greatest in this film.
Emma Stone. So here's the premise: you have the Queen Anne, who's played by Coleman, and Rachel Weisz is her right-hand woman, basically.
Yeah.
And little love interest. And Weiss's cousin, who's played by Stone, comes to court. She has nothing. It just, the way she gets to court, and you're like, oh, good. And you get a real sense of like hard living in that time. And basically she kind of worms her way into the court, and Weisz and Stone kind of vie for the Queen's attention to become the favorite. And what does that mean? What do they lose? What do they... I thought it was a good story, and
it's cool.
It was a period piece, and it's not your typical period piece, of course, but
I felt it was a lot like Dangerous Liaisons in its in its delivery and its kind of unsettlingness of the whole story. Like it's a comedy, it's a dark comedy, but it's still, there's kind of like this unease that you have, a discomfort through the whole thing that I really liked.
Yeah.
I love Rachel Weisz too, by the way. She's amazing.
Yeah.
I love her. This director, by the way, this guy's name is Yorgos Lanthimos. That's the cool name for a director. Yorgos. Oh man, he's from Greece.
Data, please meet Commander Yanthamos over at the teleporter.
In Yorgos 4. It sounds like a planet.
Is it really Rachel Weisz?
Weisz.
Yeah, Rachel Weisz.
Weisz.
Whatever. Anyway, she was also in The
Polish or
Lobster. She was in The Lobster as well. So this director likes her.
And she's Mrs. James Bond right now.
Yeah.
Oh, is she?
She's married
Daniel
to
Craig's
Daniel Craig.
wife.
Yep. Apparently they're pretty
in real
tight
life.
too. They actually
In
really
real
like
life,
each other. Was she in the? No, she was not in the Sacred Deer one. I couldn't remember if she was in that, but yes, The Lobster.
That was Nicole Kidman.
Yeah. That's a weird movie too, by the way. Really.
Yeah,
weird.
I need to watch that one.
It's very weird. Everything previous to Lobster, I think, was all Greek stuff. All Greek. I don't know what language they do in Greece. What is it?
Greek.
Is it Greek? They speak Greek?
Yeah. It's all Greek to me. Yeah.
Okay. It is Greek, right? They don't speak like some other
it is
thing.
Greek.
Okay.
It's not.
Oh, it's Greek to me, right? Hey, Nicole, I took a bullet for you. How you like that? That's pretty good.
Hey, that's all right. That's all right. We share the bullets sometimes.
Sure. It's not a problem.
Cheetah. They speak cheetah.
Yeah, they
Greece.
speak cheetah. Do you Nicole snorted. We got her to snort.
I did.
You got to snort.
Did you I'm sorry, you were saying where this was streaming. I missed it.
HBO.
Okay. HBO.
And I know we talked about this last week. Somebody just brought it up in the chat. What We Do in the Shadows, the series, is now streaming on Hulu.
Yay!
Oh, good. So you don't have to go through that
buy
stupid FX app.
Yeah. So you can go on Hulu right now and watch.
Oh, thank goodness.
Pencil. Go watch it.
Yeah,
Go watch it.
I'm gonna watch it. I've been meaning to anyway.
Oh,
It's the
great.
second favorite movie of 2015. Why wouldn't I see the series by now? But I'm a little slow, so I'm gonna watch it.
So
now.
good.
I have no excuse.
And on a lighter note, I have to ask both of you: did either of you watch Beverly Hills 90210 when you were younger?
Yes.
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 And we got through exactly 4 minutes of the new show.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about the reboot, or are you talking about BH 90210?
Talking about BH 90210.
Okay.
All the original cast.
And that's a thing now? Is that out? Is that a thing?
It's on Hulu.
Yeah.
And I watched the first episode, and I was I didn't turn it off. Like, I wanted to see because I'm like, what the heck am I watching?
Yeah. Once they got off the airplane after the dream sequence, we're like this. There's
It's actually
no way.
not too bad. It's not too
Okay.
bad.
Okay.
Are you wondering what we're talking about, Scott?
Yeah, I heard this was coming. I just didn't.
Yeah.
I haven't
So I
seen
think
it
there's
yet.
Show I wish that had a
episodes.
serial killer in it.
I mean, is it the same kind of format? It's just.
So
hey,
when I
know.
didn't know anything about it. I didn't know what. So basically, Tori Spelling and Jenny Garth came up with this idea to create a show within a show about Beverly Hills 90210.
Okay.
So this is not, and they actually kind of trick you into thinking they show up at the Peach Pit. I'm like, what? Really? They're just gonna go where they like?
Nobody.
They're just
Nobody
leaving
ever
off?
left Beverly
Nobody
Hills.
left?
Brian
It was
Austin
such a
Green
weird-
is still eating pie at the Peach Pit.
And then it's like a dream sequence, and they, Tori Spelling comes out of it, and they're on a plane, and they're going to like a Beverly Hills con.
BH Con. Or
BH Con.
oh my god.
This
And
sounds.
it's so campy and so weird, and even Brenda, what's her name? Shannon Doherty.
Shannon
is in it
Doherty.
as well.
Is
So
her
they
is
got
her left eye
everybody
is her
back.
left eye still 3 inches lower than the right eye? Just curious.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Just checking in on that.
But it's kind of a take on their celebrity, their legacy, how none of them made any money off the show, but now because they created the show, they're actually all of them are executive producers.
Oh, that makes sense.
And-
Sure. I miss.
and
It's
they're-
too bad that Matthew Perry. No,
Luke Perry.
Luke Perry
Luke
died.
Perry.
Yeah.
Yeah, they reference him a lot. And
I mean, it is too bad that he died, but I think the only
Yeah, I get where you're
He
coming
was
from.
one-
lining you could get is that he avoided this train wreck.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think it's that bad.
Everything else
I
about
don't like
okay,
it.
all right.
Nicole's got me
Tell you what,
curious. You got me curious.
You let me know if Tiffany Amber Thiessen shows up, and then I'll perk up and I'll watch this thing.
Hey, can you guys do me a
By the
favor?
way-
In the Discord, there's a picture of the old cast. Can you tell me
I see,
the guy on
yeah.
the far right? Who the hell is that?
Oh, who is that?
I don't know. I recognize everybody but him.
You know what? Is
Oh.
this first season?
He was Brian Austin Green's nerdy friend who I think there was a suicide episode of 90210 that I don't think he killed himself, but I think he was the red shirt that they could have off to do that storyline.
Okay.
But he was Brian Austin Green's nerdy little friend.
Well, look at Brian Austin Green in the glory of his early 90s get up.
Oh, geez Louise.
That's
I
pretty
know.
hot, dude.
Yeah.
Pretty freaking hot. All right. Anyway,
Hot Topic went broke that day selling that outfit.
I'll try it.
Watch the first episode. It's weird at first because they reference themselves by their real name. So
Yeah.
Jason Priestley and Jason Priestley
Gabriel-
punches out the Flash.
Gabrielle Cartera still looks like she's about 30 years older than everybody else on the show.
Oh, she does.
She
does.
has a lesbian scene.
Oh, hey. Was
Oh.
was that a thing in the old one? She was a
Well, that was
No.
always the thing about the show. They were like, "Is she gay?" And they talk about it in this show
Yeah.
about it. At the time, it wasn't acceptable. So
Sure.
now it is.
So hold on a second. Wasn't she was like 38 when the show was originally on or something weird like that.
Oh,
Was she really?
Yeah.
It wouldn't
No,
surprise
I
me
don't think she
because
was
she always did feel like she was so much older
She's
than everybody
pretty
else.
yeah. It's
Held
fine.
back like 10 times in high school.
It's fine.
Okay, when I say just to clarify, when I say lesbian scene, it's not like it's a kiss. It's a kiss.
Oh,
That's
okay.
all it is.
Okay.
There's not hardcore nudity on BH 90210 with
No. That's awesome. Hold on a second. I want to see how old she was or how old she is and was. I'm just curious about it.
They show her as a grandma in the new show.
Okay. In this one, so she was born in 61.
So that's not much older than me. She's
Right.
like 6 years older than me.
No,
So
she's-
well, yeah. So she's in her late 40s.
And how old
No,
is
she's in her
Tori Spelling?
50s, dude. 61. I'm
Yeah,
only
she's-
50. I just heard
I don't know. Nicole does
She's
math.
58.
she's 58. She's almost
Yeah,
60.
see?
And Tori Spelling is 46.
Okay. That's
So
about
12
right.
years difference between.
Yeah, but they were supposed to be in the same
She's
high
not
school.
50 she's not 58.
Yes, she is.
58.
Gabrielle Cartieris.
If she was born in 71.
No, 61. 61.
Oh, 61. I was going to say. like, am I older than I realize?
You're starting to question everything.
Well, they do say that hearing is the first thing to go.
Yeah, you never know.
And
Anyway,
the inability to pronounce celebrity names.
So you're saying that this is a Hulu thing? I can see this on Hulu?
Yeah, you can watch it on Hulu.
All right.
now.
Does-
I think the first two episodes.
Let me know how far you get, Scott. I'm curious. I will
Does-
take bets in the chat room.
All right.
Just get past the first introduction part because that's like.
Does hold on a second. Does Ian Ziering make any Sharknado references or anything? Does that come up?
No, not yet.
Okay.
No.
Just curious.
It's coming. I'm sure.
It probably is
But-
coming.
By the way, Ian Ziering. It's pronounced Ian.
Ian Ziering. Is it Ian? I want to say Ian.
It is Ian.
Ian?
It's
I thought it
Ian.
was Ian.
It's Ian Ziering.
Oh.
All right. I am
All right.
Ziering. Got it.
Tori Spelling does make references to her 6 kids. Does she
Oh.
have 6 kids? 7 kids? I don't know.
She has that many kids.
And the
Wow.
reality show that her and her husband do. I don't know.
Did
you know that?
5 kids. Yeah, Christina watched that. The I wanted because it was on Bravo. The thing with Dean and Tori
Yeah, Dean and
spelling
Tori.
trouble or something like that.
Yeah,
I can't even
something
remember
like
the
that.
dumb pun that was the.
Yeah. That's not her real face anymore, though, right? That's a different person now.
Okay.
I'm just saying, it's not the same face. When I saw her in 90210, she had a different face than she has now.
She's also had like a bunch of kids.
Yeah, but they didn't come out of her face.
But you get puffy. Yeah, I feel like I am way more puffier after having kids.
They didn't come out of her face. Oh my gosh.
By the way, hey, speaking of Luke Perry,
yeah.
he's amazing in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, he is. I
He has
hear
a
he's
small
got
part
a
in it.
little part. I heard that was great. Yeah.
I mean, not. I mean, amazing.
You know what? He's the best.
It's really
He was
cool to see him.
I watched part of a chunk of that horrible Riverdale show, and he was the best actor in there by miles. Like he was actually good and compelling, and I wish the whole show was about him.
Yeah.
Because the rest of that show is a bummer, man. I hate that show. Sorry, come at me,
All right,
Riverdale
fine.
fans. That show sucks. All right. Well, Nicole, this has been
There's your
good.
tangent.
Are you going to do a lot of tweeting about all these recommendations later on Nicole's bag,
Yep,
right?
I'm
Okay.
going to tweet it out. Yep.
Fantastic. We hope you have nothing but a great week between the now and the next time we see you. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye now. That was funny. All right. So that's it for the show. Tomorrow, I don't know what Wendy's deal is tomorrow because they're traveling soon, and I don't know if that's Thursday or Friday. So she may be here, she may not be here. If she's not here, we'll do call now. If she is here, we'll have her on.
We'll do call her.
Yeah, we'll do call her. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, that's a thing, and that's coming up.
Okay.
Frogpants.com/TMS is our website. You'll find a link there to our Patreon. We'd love it if you supported it. It means a lot when you do. Patreon.com/TMS is a direct way to get there. You hear me talk about it all the time. That's because it is the engine that powers the show. It is how we pay for everything. So please, 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 head on over to patreon.com/TMS. Brian, if you're going to play music, now would be the time. What do you got?
Now, Scott, now?
Now,
Okay.
Now.
Hi, Bachelor and Science, says Jim Vick from California. I'm requesting this on Wednesday or for Wednesday, August 21st. As early on Thursday, August 22nd, my wife and I will be driving my son, Alexander James Vick, to California State University, Chico, which is in Northern California. While high school had its ups and downs for Alex, he finished strong and is going for a degree in biochemistry. He has quite the brain. Alex, we love you and look forward to all you will accomplish in life. Good luck. P.S. Happy anniversary and birthday to my wife, Susie. August 20th was our 25th anniversary, and August 24th is her birthday. Thank you for the hippie state, Jim Vick.
Okay.
So, so congratulations, first of all, to Alexander. Enjoy college life. It's going to be awesome. Jim tells me that Alex is big into 80s music, and I'm hoping that Alex is also into 80s movies, but I'm hoping that Alex doesn't think that the 80s college life is the real life college life. So to kind of honor that and to kind of draw the connection there, how about a cover from one of the greatest 80s college movies of all time? No, I'm not talking about Real Genius. I'm talking about Back to School, featuring Rodney Dangerfield, in which Rodney is rich enough to have a certain band perform in his room, in his dorm room. a certain band that I know TVZ Gun's ears just perked up about as well. Yeah, I'm talking about Oingo Boingo, and one of the songs that they perform in Rodney Dangerfield's dorm room is Dead Man's Party. How about a cover of that song? This actually just came out this year by a band that I support on Kickstarter and everything they do. The band is called Murder by Death. This is actually a song you get if you support them, if you supported them from their most recent Kickstarter campaign for their most recent album. It is Oingo Boingo's Dead Man's Party, covered by Murder by Death.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Frog Pants Network. Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
Are you all right? Yeah. My mouth tastes like dirt, though.
Okay. I don't remember what that was about, but sure.